What happened? We're going to exit turn 2 here.
Ooh, looks like Robert Huffman got into park.
Steve might have got pushed off the corner a little bit, maybe got out of the throttle. And when he did, Robert Huffman was dead in the throttle and bumped into him. Let's see if we can take another look at it.
Just looks like he's way up the hill instead of being a lane off of Steve. He's the 12 truck was way up the hill.
We talk about this racetrack being self-cleaning. You mentioned it, Rick. That's what we're talking about. The straightaways are banked so much here. That's why they go back down to the bottom of the racetrack and hit that inside wall.
A couple trucks on pit road right now. One of those being the 12, the other one being the 62.
Oh, there's a better tell of it, Phil.
Jack Sprague involved in that?
No, we said the 12 hit the park truck, but it didn't. The 62 truck looked like he got loose, and then Huffman. Oh,
there's a little bit of contact. Oh. That started him getting loose.
Okay, yeah, he did get loose.
With every view, we get a little bit better action.
Was Schrader able to get through?
Runs in the back of Ted Musgrave.
Oh, great job.
He's going to have a little bit of damage to the front of his truck. To take it easy.
Kelly Sutton bringing out our second caution of the day. We'll be back with more racing from Dover.
We hit the inside wall. Doesn't feel that bad.
Wow.
We just heard him say he got me loose. We've seen that before. A truck on the inside normally loses the air off the spoiler.
Well, you could see he pushed. He was pushing up the hill, but he elected not to come out of the gas. He's pushing, he's pushing, he's pushing. They make contact, boom, I'm sideways. So that was a case where maybe he could have rolled off the gas a little bit and not gotten such an aero-tight situation that resulted in him turning sideways and hitting the inside wall.
Another view from Jack Sprague's on board. See David make a little bit of contact on the inside wall.
And Michael, you mentioned water.
Watch him coming up. He's already sideways. It looked like he might have been by himself. We're not exactly sure. We didn't see the very beginning of it, but kept it out of the inside wall, kept it out of the outside wall, and avoided all the other trucks.
Brad Keselowski does a nice job.
What happened here as they go down into turn number 3. You see Todd Bodine get side by side with Bill coming off turn number 2. It slows his momentum down a little bit. Watch to your right of your screen. You see Tony. He's going to drive down there. Todd moved down to block Tony. Tony ran in the back of Todd and knocked him into Bill. And Bill gets, unfortunately, the worst of it.
The closing rate that Tony Stewart had there, Todd Bodine may not have even known that Tony Stewart was coming on the inside. He came so fast when they got into turn 3.
It looked like Todd actually turned down away from Bill a little bit earlier. I think he may have had an idea that Tony was coming, and he was going to try to block off that lane. When these trucks run side by side like that off that corner, it slows their momentum down so much. That's what gave Tony such a run. And unfortunately, let's take another look at it. You see Tony gets a good run, and Todd is about 3 truck widths away from Bill Lester. And unfortunately, Tony ran in the back of him when he pulled down in front of him and then ran into Bill Lester.
Let's ride along with Todd Bodine.
You heard the contact between Todd Bodine and Bill Lester. If we take a look at what happened, you see that. Watch the 66, Michael. The Terry Cook, the Ted truck just drove by him. Todd runs up. Looks like he makes him a little bit of contact.
Oh.
Jack got into him, got him sideways. And then Todd, and just trying to correct his truck, made some contact with Jack Sprague. And unfortunately, Jack's going to really pay the price.
Well, maybe racing isn't so fickle. Maybe he just drove up there and hit him and wrecked himself.
Let's take another look at it. We see that was what I looked up and saw, that Todd made some contact with him, but obviously from the other angle we saw that Todd got hit by Jack Sprague, and that's why he was trying to save his truck, and unfortunately Jack is really going to pay for it.
Nice call.
If we can take a look, there he is on the bottom of the 4 truck trying to race the 4 truck.
Look at that.
He gets loose on the bottom, makes a little bit of contact. He saves it. Now watch. Brendan's right up against the wall going by. Dennis, as you said, I don't think he knew he was there. He was still trying to corral his truck, and unfortunately forced Brendan into the outside wall, and Dennis pays the price.
I don't know how much damage was done to the Gone truck, but look at there. He's already squeezed against the wall. Brendan was doing all he could to stay off Dennis. Look at Brendan's left front fender. It's torn all to pieces, Phil.
I hope he doesn't have a flat tire, because if he has to come to pit road, he is going to give up a great position. He's going to have so few laps to try to get back into the top 10.
We threw the 3 the, through the free pass, we wound up with 14. Look at Gone right against the wall.
He could not have got out of the way any more than what he did. And again, he didn't want to back off because he's racing for position. He knows that he's probably going to beat Dennis down into the corner if Dennis would have given him just a little bit of